Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Oriire podcast, the podcast that tells African stories. I'm Halima.
And I'm Ceci. And today we have a special guest here with us who is going to discuss Igbo food. His name is Kalas. Hi, Kalas.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Kalas. My Igbo name is Ifeanyi Chukwu. I'm happy to be here today. We're talking about food.
Yes. Well, okay, let's give a little bit of primer on Igbo land for people who don't know.
First, before you guys continue, Kedu, I've been practicing Igbo, so you have to respond to
Kedu, that sounds very, very Oyibo. Yeah, so I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria. I'm Igbo. I'm originally from Anambra. So inside Anambra, I'm from Onitsha. So my parents are from Onitsha. My grandparents from both sides are from Onitsha. My great-grandparents from both sides are Onitsha. So if there's anything like pure blood or something, I would say so. Yeah. So that's my story.
Do you know where Anambra is in the eastern part of Nigeria? Where exactly is it?
Isn't it southeast?
Yeah.
Southeast, okay.
Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's your favorite Igbo traditional food?
Okay, so I'm such a foodie that I think having a favorite food is it's like you're cheating on someone.
I feel the same way.
So I really don't have a favorite, but my go-to celebration food is pounded yam and offensala. Now, if I'm going to say it how we pronounce it, offensala, we have a way of pronouncing words. So I love pounded yam and offensala, but people call it white soup as well.
Yeah. I've never personally had offensala, but I've heard really good things about it. The only reference I have to offensala is that Davido song where some guy shouts offensala every 3 seconds. Do you know something?
Offensala, yeah.
But yeah, it looks delicious though. What's in offensala? What white soup?
So basically, it's really, really easy to make. So your protein should be either fish. My mom makes hers with fresh fish and then chicken, right? You have a thickening agent, which you can just use corn flour or regular flour or yam. Yeah, some people tend to use yam as well, which is very interesting if you're going to do that. It's like a broth. You make a chicken broth out of it, and then you put your Maggi, your spices, but it still comes out it's almost white. That's why it's called white soup in quote.
I did not know. I've never heard before of people using flour or corn flour. No, but in Nigerian food, actually, I had no idea that was what was in offensa.
Oh yeah, it's a thickening agent. I guess offensala is bougie like that.
It is kind of bougie.
I guess offensala is bougie like that. So some people can put Oriire, which is a seasoning, Oriire. So some people can do that. Some people can put. So it depends where you're from. On people, they make theirs really differently from every other. I noticed that some people make theirs like pepper soup. The white soup tastes like pepper soup. It has lots of meat. It's really chewy. You can see a couple of liver. You can see a couple of beefy meat. But we make ours chicken and fresh fish. It's really nice. Then we pounded yam, but people can also take oatmeal, whatever you want. But apple, of course. But we make ours with pounded yam. We eat it with pounded yam rather. So if I was going to pick a favorite food, that's what I would say. Yeah.
That sounds nice. So what are popular Igbo foods? Could you give us 10 most popular Igbo foods?
Maybe not give him 10. 10 is a lot.
I know.
No, I think I can go 10.
Ukazi, there's pepper soup.
Abacha.
Yes, there's that one.
Yeah, let me try. I'll try maybe 8 to 10.
Okay.
So Igbo people. So Igbo is, first of all, the Igbo culture, the tribe is massive. It's massive. So even one particular food, different Igbo, people can make it so many ways. So there is abacha, there is akede, there is fiofio, this, which is all the bean family, still from the bean family. There is unkwabi. I don't know whether there is isiewu, which is really, really yummy. There is, if you're gonna enter into soups, you know, you have ofo nubu, which is like that's like a celebration kind of food in events. You have egusi soup. You have ora or oha. Some people call it oha. We call it ora. There is the ofensala, I said as well. That is okra or okolo. It's still the same thing. That's draw soup. So okra is draw soup. Yeah. So that's 10, I think.
I think that's even like more than 10. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is Banga and Igbo
Banga
soup?
is from Delta, I think.
Ooh.
So it's from Delta, but different people make it. We call it, we say it often mano, like palm kernel soup, right? Then some people, but the main thing they call it is ofako. So ako is still palm kernel because that's what it's made from. That's the main stuff it's made from. So yeah, so that's banga soup, aka banga soup. So you can either make it as a sauce to eat it with your rice, or you can make it as a soup, which is not going to be as thick as, you know, if it's a sauce, you know.
Banga soup is my personal favorite Nigerian soup. So delicious.
Really, it's really, really nice, especially if it's spicy. It's really nice.
Do you find that there are certain like staple food items, let's say, that kind of cut across a lot of different Igbo cultures?
Yeah.
Like, for example, yam. I noticed that yam is kind of a big thing. And pounded yam and like in all its different forms, basically. It's something that goes with all Igbo soups. And maybe bitter leaf is used in a lot of soups as well. I would say like if we're talking about other cultures, like they have like, for example, in the north, I think they have their tuwo, which is made from rice. That they use and then maybe Yoruba people, I mean, pounded yam as well, but eba goes with a lot of stuff. Yeah, amala, exactly. But for Yoruba people, I feel like yam is their, you know, staple.
Yeah, it's the ultimate. Yam definitely is the ultimate because, I mean, yam is such a trooper. You know, you can flip it, fry it, dice it, cut it, boil it, roast it.
I agree. Yam is the MVP.
Yam is a real trooper. So yeah, I would say yam and I guess palm oil. Yeah. I guess almost every soup, you know, has a little bit of palm oil or something in there. So yam and palm oil is definitely, you know, it cuts across everything, you know. Yeah, definitely.
Is it not like Igbo people that do New Yam Festival, or is that in the Southwest?
I think so.
Well, they do New Yam festivals in lots of Igbo lands. I think Oriire is like beats Imo State. They do that a lot. Honestly, I haven't been to anyone. I haven't been to any New Yam festival, but I know when, you know, they have New Yam and you see it in the market and they tell it's different. You just, once you look at it, it's like fresher and stuff. But I've never been to any of the festivals before.
No. Okay.
So basically, it's supposed to be just the, you know, unveiling of the new yam, and then, you know, they thank God and everything, and then they have a festival and they eat lots of yam. That's how it is, but I've never been to any of it.
That sounds kind of fun to me. I'd like to go to a festival and eat lots of yam, fried yam.
A New Yam festival, to be precise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think what's like a staple food at every Igbo party? Like at an Igbo wedding, what are like the major foods they serve there?
Okay. If it's Enugu State, right? If it's like Enugu State, Anambra-ish, right? If it's definitely Enugu, I'll go with abacha. Like it's like a number one thing you're going to have in most Igbo weddings is going to be abacha. Now the abacha, they might make it with oba or akede or some fio or just plain, but there's definitely going to be abacha in there. But if it's maybe Anambra, you might have more things like okwa,
okay,
which is breadfruit. Have you guys had that before?
No, I haven't. But I have a question to ask on that later.
Yes.
The picture looks
really, really yummy. If it's going to be Anambra, I think you're going to find okwa and fish. And there's something about okwa because it's kind of expensive to process it and sell. So it's one of those things that, you know, once it's done, it's done. Like it's finished. They'll be like, no, it's finished. We're sorry, no more okwa. Because everyone will tend to, want to eat okwa and everything because it's really, really nice.
Okay, I think I should just ask you this question about okwa then. When I was like researching on Igbo food, apparently it is also like a measure of like status and wealth. Only rich Igbo people apparently eat okwa. Do you think that's true?
I won't say like the rich, simply because, but first I would still get back to that because a cup, I just heard today that a cup of okwa is 300 naira. So that is just a cup that is this big. Even though like when you cook it, it tends to like get big and everything, but it doesn't get like, it's not like rice that, or beans that, gets more mass, but that's it. But the process of getting the okwa is a lot. Like it comes from the tree, they get it down, they unpeel it, they do this, they do. It's a very long process. So that tends to increase the amount of it. So because it's 300 naira a cup, not a lot of people are going to, cook 50, let's say 50 cups now. And to be honest, a cup, I could probably eat a cup and a half. So if you have that in your wedding, you're not going to make it as the main dish. You're going to make it as a side dish that you want maybe your big guest, your creme de la creme guest to eat. So yeah, I think most people is going to be some sort of a measure of, wealth because it's expensive, Yeah.
Oh.
I was just saying, I was looking at a picture of ukwa just now, and I've seen pictures of it before, but for some reason I always assumed it was beans. I don't know why. It's only today I just read.
It is from the family-ish. Ish, and then it's made differently. Some people add vegetables. Some people make theirs like plain and then add different stuff. Fish, dry fish. I've seen liver. I've seen diced beef. But it's really, really nice.
Oh, okay. Is jollof rice a big deal at Igbo parties? Or that's just...
I feel like it is international. Like it is from Nigeria.
That's like the Nigerian anthem.
Yeah, exactly. How can you go to a Nigerian party with no jollof?
Like, if you don't bring jollof, like, just tell us you're mourning or something and we won't come for it.
Even if you're mourning, it's not burial jollof that they say tastes best.
True.
They say burial jollof is the most delicious jollof.
Because you haven't said anything as jollof rice, and I'm like, is it that Igbo people don't eat jollof rice?
No, they do. But I don't know. I don't know if any tribe can claim jollof rice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. To be fair,
I feel like it would cause world war. I mean, Nigerian war. If someone says jollof rice is just for my own culture.
Well, I have had jollof rice in the north, in the west, in the east. Like the jollof rice in the west is so spicy. Like it's really, really hot. Yeah. And then, in the north, you have them, they do, they kind of flavor their food more than spice their food. So you get a lot of like ginger and stuff in it, which is still nice anyway. Then the east is different as well, But jollof, I don't think anyone can claim jollof for now.
Of the different ways that we cook food in like different regions of Nigeria. I've always found it very interesting, the kind of parallels to see like these two similar foods but cooked in such different ways by different cultures. For example, the similarity between the Yoruba moi moi, which is like a steamed bean thing, and the Igbo, is it okpa? Is it
okpa?
Yes, they look really similar. They look identical, but apparently they're completely different. But they're made of the same beans and palm oil, right? It's just like a different recipe entirely.
So exactly. So okpa, it's like there's so much. The bean family has so many things. So okpa is still part of the bean family. So you still grind and blend, and it's still in a powdered form, right? And you still make it that way. Beans, regular beans, that's what you use to make moi moi. So you're still going to blend and grind, and then you make it into a paste. You now add different stuffs into it, But okpa is like less is more for okpa. My own opinion, like I don't want extra stuff. Like these days, people make like eggs inside them, vegetable inside them.
I want eggs in my moi moi.
Yeah, eggs and moi moi nice. Corned beef and moi moi nice. All that. But in okpa, less is more. So I think the major difference is the bean. So it's regular beans for moi moi, and then there is okpa bean for okpa. And then red oil. So you don't put as much red oil You put a lot of red oil in okpa.
I think in moi moi,
I don't think you put
red oil.
People use just vegetable oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just put vegetable oil in moi moi, and so I think that's probably the major difference. Yeah.
I think there are other things that kind of like are interesting when you examine the different ways that we make them. Or like, for example, goat. Now, goat is a very big thing everywhere in Nigeria, right? Yorubas have asun, which is like, chopped up goat meat fried in pepper. Yeah. Igbo people have isiewu, which is also good. I believe it's like the head of the goat. And is made like, I think it's similarly, it's in a spicy sauce with like vegetables and some palm oil. And it's also delicious, but like it's a completely different approach to cooking the same thing. And even things like egusi, like Igbo egusi somehow is different from egusi in other parts of Nigeria. And you can like taste the subtle differences, but everybody has their different preferences in how they spice food or like how they like food to taste. For example, I think that in Yoruba egusi, they normally put more vegetables in. They like the efo, the vegetable soup type of egusi. But Igbo people like plain egusi mostly. Not completely plain, but like it's not as much whatever vegetable they want to use in it.
They put in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides okwa, do you think Igbo foods in general, do you think they tell a story of like how wealthy or what particular social class you belong to?
Oh yeah, I should think so. It's like the nsala soup, for instance. Even though the nsala is kind of easy, but most people you have to use like fresh fish if you want to get like the main nsala. Use like fresh fish, chicken, all that. So it's not like you wouldn't see nsala soup in any event.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't see it in any event. It has to be like either maybe you after the event you went to the person's house, or there's a particular small cooler that has a special goodness. So yeah, and then like there are basic soup that everyone makes. For instance, draw soup, which is okra, because okra is one of those soups you can warm okra from now till next month, and it's still going to be pretty. Like you keep just adding water and it's fine. You can't do that to something like egusi. Like you steam egusi 2-3 times and, it's going to tell you a different story. Yeah. So, but okra seems to be like a general soup everyone can, make, keep, store. Yeah. But other soups, I think is just slightly, maybe just the ingredients that makes it maybe like a class thinking. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So let's talk about the diaspora now, because as you know, the Igbo people are one of the biggest cultures in Nigeria, the biggest tribe, and they're all over the world. So Nigerians in general are all over the world because, we really took that be fruitful and multiply very seriously. But yeah. So people are all over the world. And of course, the food has been exported along with that. And, it changed and kind of evolved and it's still everywhere. And I even think I looked it up before, and there are even some people in Guinea who are Igbo, which is like a country kind of neighboring Nigeria. Would you say that like Igbo food is very much alive in the diaspora, but maybe not quite as authentic as the food from home, let's say?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Bearing in mind that even when you go to like Igbo restaurants abroad, they still ask you stuff like, oh, do you have allergies? I've never been to a restaurant in Nigeria and someone asks me, do you have allergies? Oh, guy, you eat what we have.
Exactly. I can't even imagine it,
So no one's going to ask you, oh, can I take out crayfish in your, in that soup? Or can I take out like, white Maggi or regular Maggi? Like, you're going to eat what we have.
Well, very careless really people, you guys, by the way. Sorry, Alas, I just had to add that. I said we're very careless people, by the way. Like, what if someone dies after eating crayfish? They will
say, well, people attribute it to the crayfish. I can think about someone dying.
before then, hopefully, you know your allergies, though.
Hopefully.
Do people know that they're allergic to things like in Nigeria? Is that something that people test for? I don't think people even realize.
I think probably they do, but they don't care. Like someone was telling me the other day that, you know, he keeps getting ill, and it took me just 3 minutes to figure out that he was lactose intolerant. And I was like, this is why you're being ill. And he was like, so I will not take milk again.
To be honest, I'm lactose intolerant myself, and I treat it like it's by the way because I'm still going to eat the ice cream. Like, okay.
Exactly. So I think it's the same way, but you know, abroad you don't really get the authentic spices. Some reasons may be something like the herbs or vegetable you use is not fresh, because most times they might store it maybe in the cooler, the freezer, whatever, or they blend it so because they can't really have that fresh herb. Or maybe the meat. I don't know whether you guys know or have noticed that maybe goat meat doesn't have the same smell like it does abroad. Yeah, so sometimes that helps in the flavoring of the food. And then things like the spices you use, like Maggi, you know, things like that. So it's not always the same, you know, because I know like sometimes you might not have like for me now, Benin chicken seems to be like my go-to spice to cook. But when I, you know, travel, sometimes I can just use like Jamaican regular spice or something from the Caribbean, and it might not taste exactly, but what are you going to do? It works. So I think back home, you just can get the authentic taste because everything is just, you know, organic. It's more organic, more or less. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Do you have like any idea of things like, let's say someone wants to make a traditional Igbo dish. Is there anything they can substitute it for? Let's say you want to make abacha, for example, when you're not in Nigeria. What can they substitute for the major ingredients?
Okay, so abacha, the main abacha is cassava. We like call them cassava flakes, but it depends how you chop them. So let's say cassava flakes. So let's say you have the main abacha. The green in the abacha is either you use potasi, which is a bitter, very bitter leaf, or you use green. And then there is garden egg, which is anyara, depending on how they pronounce it. Yeah. But I guess you could use rocket, or let's say spinach. You could use spinach. Yeah, you could use spinach. Kale works perfectly as well. You could use kale. And I guess you could, everything else, the protein, you could usually use the same fish and everything else. But I think kale, you can use spinach for the green. I think that will work. Yeah, that would definitely work. As long as you have the main abacha, everything else is, go to. Oh, if you're going to put ogili, I'm done. Maybe you might just leave the ogili. I don't know what. So it's like potash, but it's really, really smelly. I don't know what.
Is it Iru locust beans?
I think it is. I think it's Iru.
Is it? There's like gray, really, really smelly.
Well, listeners, feel free to correct us if it's not Iru, because I'm not quite sure it's exactly. Iru is locust beans. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what ogiri is.
What is ogili in English? I'm so used to calling it ogili that I don't know what. It will come to my. I think I'll remember later. But it's like gray and really soft.
Yeah, it's made of like fermented oil seeds, such as sesame seeds or melon seeds and castor oil seed. So it's not locust beans at all.
Definitely not.
No.
So yeah, but I guess sometimes people put it in there, sometimes they don't. So I guess you can substitute, take tomato. So yeah.
Okay, so just to wrap up the whole thing, because we're already close to the end of this episode. What is one of your pet peeves about like Igbo food? What's that one thing you can't stand about Igbo food?
Or how people make it?
Yeah.
One thing I can't stand. Let's see. I'm a trooper. I'm a foodie, so I'm not sure there's anything but maybe there's something I can't stand with eating maybe my soup, like apple. Like it's not like I just don't like the smell. I've never actually had it before. Like it's swallow that you can use for your soup.
I
think apple is fufu, right? Apple should be fufu, I guess.
I think it is.
It's fufu. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lots of people don't like the smell.
Yeah, that's just like one thing I can't really stand because I've never had it before. My mom never made it for us because she doesn't even like the smell. So we grew up like not knowing what we just knew there was some smelly thing. So yeah, we never really had it. I think my brother has, but I never had it. Yeah, that's just one thing I'll take out, but I'm good all through.
Okay. So, how would you rate Igbo foods like compared to other food from different tribes?
No, you can't. That's not a fair question.
It is a good question. Mrs. suggested it, and I think it's a good question.
That's not a fair question. It's either it's going to be too polarizing for him to answer.
Okay, rating. First, I'm Igbo. My parents are Igbo, so I kind of grew up eating Igbo food, and so I guess I would always lean to say that I prefer Igbo food or whatever. I mean, I have traveled to places in Yoruba land, and so I would say this: the West is really spicy. So it's spicy.
People always say that.
We love it like that.
Spicy. Please. I don't think a lot of. Well, I don't want to use the word effort, but let me say not a lot of, maybe I should say effort is put in like the presentation of the food. Sometimes I just feel like pa, 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 pa. And then, I mean, the times I ate though, but it was nice. It was nice. And then Igbo food, I feel like they're more flavorful. They don't have a lot of, plenty textures. I feel like the West, they have like, you might have a meal that has like 7 different textures, eating different things. This is soft, this is,
I like that.
This is everything. Slimy. Yeah. This is like, there's a lot of things going on there, which is still good for your palate. But Igbo food is like, we're here, eat this, And then, the Northern food is really, it's really flavorful, It's more of the flavor of their food. It's almost like they're trying to eat healthy or healthier. So I would still rate Igbo food higher.
I mean, we wouldn't expect anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't think anyone can fault you for it. Yes.
Yes.
I feel like every Nigerian would say the food from their own region is the best because you grew up eating your own food, and that's what you like because
definitely
you've assimilated.
I mean, there's, the people that have the most soups is probably between the Igbos and, river states, because they've got a lot of soup, which is really, 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 really nice. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And Dalu Kalas.
Thank you for coming on. We really enjoyed this conversation. I always love talking about food. It just makes me happy. It's a fun topic. I like to think about food. So this has been fun.
No problem at all.
Thanks for listening, guys. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like this and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And also to stay part of the conversation, you can follow us on Instagram where we are Oriire_Africa. That's ORIIRE. And also we're the same on Twitter. And our website is oriire.com. And we're definitely going to have a conversation about this on there. So don't miss it.
Yeah, and Oriire is spelled ORIIRE. Don't forget, guys. So Kaudi, everyone. Kaudi is goodbye in Igbo language.
Oh, wait. Follow Kalas on Instagram.
So it's Kalas Le Magnifique. Kalas _KALAS_LE_Magnifique. So it's magnificent, but it's just QUE ending it. That's it.
Can you people see? We don't bring ordinary people on this podcast.
Yes, so.
All right, then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.